Now, through counsel, Alphabet admitted that after J13th, predictions for queries about the assassination attempt against Trump, they admit they should have appeared, but they didn't. If this was like a person, like if this was an actual person, okay, did somebody do that? Did some whack job liberal do that there? That person should be prosecuted. Discovery began December 2020, concluded March 2023. Millions of pages exchanged hands. 3 years for millions of pages. There are millions of pages in the January 6th case. House Republicans are investigating Google. Remember when you tried to go in there and type Trump assassination, they sent you to like an NBA basketball game? You're like, what the heck? Or better yet, to Kamala's campaign donation website. Nobody really got what they were doing, except we did. It's censorship. They don't want you to go search for Trump and find him to be sympathetic. Now, Congress is unhappy about that, sending this one on August 5th from the Committee on the Judiciary, House of Representatives, over to Google, Mr. Sundar Pichai, CEO of Alphabet. Now, this comes from our friend Jim Jordan, chairman from Ohio, and this is just part of Google's headache today. They got this. They want to know about the autocomplete. We'll go through it, but also Google apparently is now an illegal monopoly. That's according to a federal judge. Sean Davis grabbed this opinion for us, which looks like this. We'll hit the highlights of this one. It's 286 pages, so we'll read through some of the intro and see what's cooking on it. But the big news, of course, is that Google has been interfering in the 2024 elections. They've been doing this for a long time. They did it in 2020, and in the aftermath and beyond, I'm sure they will continue it. But here is what the Judiciary Committee wants to know from Google. They say, all right, Google, listen, Congress is conducting oversight about how Biden-Harris, how they've coerced and colluded with other companies to censor lawful speech. We have obtained documents showing how social media companies engaged with the executive branch, with Biden-Harris, to censor true information about Biden's corruption in advance of 2020. Now, the censorship and other covert forms of manipulation to favor one candidate are illegal. Now, our oversight committee has shown how the federal government has coerced or colluded with companies like yours to moderate online content. Now, in particular, the committee obtained documents showing that the government has successfully pressured YouTube, a subsidiary of yours, to censor certain content, including content that did not violate any moderation policies. Now, recent reporting also indicates that Google may now be interfering in 2024 as well by censoring information about Trump and his ongoing campaign for the presidency, including what happened on J13 when he was almost shot and killed in Pennsylvania. Now, in response to our oversight, your counsel gave our subcommittee non-public information about Google's issues with search and autocomplete and the company's efforts to correct them. And so in addition to offering a private briefing this week, which we expect to have, we write today to remind you of your obligation, and we're looking forward to having our questions answered. Non-public information, let's see what is revealed inside. So here's the omission of Trump's assassination attempt from the autocomplete, the search bar. Here's what we saw happen. Now, through counsel, Alphabet admitted that after J13th, predictions for queries about the assassination attempt against Trump, they admit they should have appeared, but they didn't. Now, they explained that there are built-in protections around political violence, and those political protections were just out of date. That's why it didn't show up. And it's interesting because all of the other assassinations showed up. Now, autocomplete failed to provide relevant results about the attempt on Trump's life. Alphabet also shared that the company updated these protections once the issue was flagged, and that autocomplete now shows results about the attempt. So this is how it works now. Now, previously it was not working like this. So Donald Trump, if you type Trump, it shows Trump assassination. But before this, it was even way worse. Like you could type Donald Trump assassination and it would show you nothing, or it would say Teddy Roosevelt assassination or Abraham Lincoln assassination. Now, for this week's briefing, we want to know the following. Google, please be prepared to provide the details. How did executives at Google's know that the autocomplete was not providing suggested search results about Trump? Who told you? When did the executives learn that autocomplete was not working? Which teams or divisions within Google were responsible and for fixing this issue? How long after Google was aware was the fix implemented? Remember, these are hot moments in time. A bunch of eyeballs go to these stories. They want to suppress them while they're hot. Once they're no longer hot, doesn't matter. Did Google have any correspondence or communication with the White House or any other executive branch agency? How about the FBI about the failure to complete your autocomplete? Were other assassination attempts on prominent political figures omitted? Not really. No, there weren't. We saw all the other attempts show up. In fact, it suggested other attempts. What impact has this correction on autocomplete had on Americans' ability to obtain information about the J13th attempt? How many searches were attempted and failed. How many conversations could have been started that would have benefited President Trump? Millions. Now, how can the American people be confident that a similar issue, whether intentional or not, will not occur again? Answer, we can't. So also, the omission of Trump's name from autocomplete. Now, Alphabet has also admitted that autocomplete was not showing Trump's name in response to searches for President Trump. Why would that be? Assassination, that's political violence. Like, I could see them saying, like, how to assassinate. They're like, nope, no autocomplete, right? Like, no, that's not what we're talking about. We're just typing President Donald. That's it. Alphabet claims that this issue was caused by a bug. What a weird bug, and has been fixed by a recent update. It's weird how all these little bugs happen. You know, there was a bug also on January 13th and in general. It's just a bug. It's like 7 bugs in a row. I don't know how they happened, so Trump almost got shot in the head, but okay, got it. Because this vague excuse leaves many questions unanswered, we asked that Alphabet please be prepared to answer the following. How did the executives at Google learn that autocomplete was not giving answers about President Trump? And by the way, if this was like a person, like if this was an actual person, okay, did somebody do that? Did some whack job liberal do that there? That person should be prosecuted. When did executives at Google learn that autocomplete was not providing these search results? And how quickly did they, oh, it's not showing there was, well, we should add that to our next meeting agenda. Oh, when's our next meeting? Well, next 3 weeks are pretty busy. So how about the next month? Put it on the next month's docket. So how long was this bug affecting autocomplete? How many millions of people? It's in-kind campaign contributions to the Democrats. It's all it is. What is the nature of the update that Google implemented to fix this bug? It's the we don't want to get prosecuted by Congress. Which teams or divisions within Google worked to update this design? How long after Google was aware of the bug was the update implemented? Did Google have any correspondence or communication with any executive branch officials concerning the omission of the names? No, they're like, no, we love this. Which other prominent American political figures, if any, were affected by this bug? Not Democrats. What impact has this correction to autocomplete had in Americans' ability to obtain information about President Trump? And how can the American people be assured it's not going to happen again? And lastly, searches about President Trump return news stories about Vice President Harris. It's election interference right now. Finally, Alphabet tried to explain to the committee why searches for Trump return news labels and stories about Harris. Alphabet claimed that this error was a result of its algorithm that automatically generates and displays labels, and that the company noted that predictions may be unexpected and bugs will occur. So we don't believe that crap either. For how long have stories about Vice President Harris appeared in response to stories about Trump? What impact has this issue had for people trying to find out about these campaigns? Has Google taken any action to fix this bug? Or Congress is not going to do anything, okay? Nothing. So this is going to happen for the rest of the election cycle. Just get ready for it. Has Google taken any action to more narrowly tailor the news or search results? Which teams or divisions at Google are doing anything about it? None. Does the company seek to elevate liberal news outlets more prominently over conservative ones? Yes. If not, what step does the company take to audit how the algorithm is functioning? How can the American people be confident? We can't. Keep asking the question, Jim. Pursuant to the rules, we can investigate our civil liberties. Yet another letter going over towards Google. Now, we also saw that Google is getting the old backhand from the District of Columbia. It says, okay, against Google. Sorry, Google. The general search engine has revolutionized the way we live, says the judge. Information that once took hours, we now get from a search engine. Almost works like magic. Type in a word, it pops up all instantly. General search engines make money by selling ads. We know. Type in running shoes, you get ads for running shoes. For more than 15 years, one search engine has stood above the rest, Google, founded by Stanford and probably DARPA and the CIA. They now have $2 trillion in a market cap. Very profitable advertising. Now, in 2009, 80% of all search queries in 2009 went through Google. Numbers grown. By 2020, it was nearly 90%. Bing, 6%, 84% fewer than Google. Google has not achieved market dominance by happenstance, hired a ton of people, earned the trust of hundreds of users. But people are bailing. I mean, Google's getting worse every day. And the one I've been experimenting with lately is Perplexity. I'm never going to share that name again. But Google also has a large unseen advantage over rivals. Default distribution. Most users access this through a browser and it automatically goes to Google. And so the distribution agreement benefits Google. For years, Google has secured default placements. They pay huge sums of money to make you use them as the default search engine. Google's dominance eventually brought up antitrust eyeballs. And in 2020, we saw a bunch happen. The proceedings that have followed have been remarkable. Discovery began December 2020, concluded March 2023. Millions of pages exchanged hands. 3 years for millions of pages. There are millions of pages in the January 6th case. They've had like, I don't know, 9 months of time. Google produced petabytes of data, dozens of people deposed, high-ranking executives, 9 weeks 3-week bench trial, dozens of live witnesses. After receiving post-trial submissions, the court held closing arguments. The lawyering has been first-rate throughout. Amazing. That's cool. Now, after carefully considering this, weighing everything, the court reaches the following conclusion. Google is a monopolist, and it has acted as one to maintain its monopoly, violating the Sherman Act. Now, specifically, the court holds that there are relevant product markets for general search services and general search text ads. So general search and general search text ads. Google has monopoly power in those, not general ads or other areas, but those narrow markets. Google's distribution agreements are exclusive. They have anti-competitive effects. If Apple has you search on Google, you can't have anyone else on there. And Google has not offered valid pro-competitive justifications for these. Importantly, the court also finds that Google has exercised its monopoly power by charging supra-competitive prices for general search text ads. That conduct has allowed them to earn monopoly profits. Now, other determinations favor Google. The court says there is a product market for search advertising, but that Google lacks monopoly power in that market, in search advertising. So other display, images and other, like Facebook is, a big player in there and others. There is no product market for general search advertising, and Google is not liable for its action involving its platform. The court also declines to sanction Google for its failure to preserve its chat. Now, this decision is complicated. Court addresses a lot of this. The court has included an appendix and on and on and on. And so I think we'll see the remedy, right? What are the remedies? What are they going to do about all this? Google will appeal this. This will go up and up and up and up, no doubt. But it was signed by Omitted. He is in the DC circuit. He says, so for the foregoing reasons, the court concludes it is a monopoly in 2 product markets in the United States, search services and general text ads. Finds Google liable. Now, the court enters judgment for Google as to the other counts. And so that's the ruling from Judge Omitted. Now, how does this whole thing get unpacked? What are the remedies? What are the consequences of this? What does it mean? That will be revealed later on, and we'll see what it looks like. We'll be here to continue to cover it. Thank you for subscribing and joining us as we do, my friends. Would love to see you back here on the next one.